Ryan, we're back, man. We're so back. We had another mini spring break after having a whole month off of racing.
Dude, we're getting too many of these breaks. I want more racing.
Hey, this kicks us off for this summer, man. This one kicks us off. We are doing everything Canada preview and a little bit of a bet slip on this edition of the Cool Down Rundown. Before we get started, Ryan, there's only one way to really start. Hope you have it.
Always.
All right, Ben.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Dude, on my end, that sounded perfectly lined up.
Sounded pretty good to me.
We're connected.
Also, it tastes great.
Mm-hmm. Now, Ryan, before we get into anything coming up Canada, bet slips, ideas, talking points, we actually need to address a little bit of what happened in Miami because
Yes.
the Stewarts finally figured it out. They got the thumbs out of their asses and finally doled out some points.
As soon as we were done recording, it all came out. And if you didn't listen to our last episode,
What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Not listening to our last episode.
What are you
Go back
doing?
and come back. Or
You know what? Start from last year first. You got to know the whole story.
yeah, please.
But I always do my point system at the end of every race weekend. But there were so many racing reports and incidences that were elevated to the stewards after Miami that it was inconclusive, and I didn't want to give false information. So I waited. One of the ones I was specifically waiting for was what was going to happen to my boy, Charles Leclerc, because that last lap, he spun out, and he was noted for driving recklessly and going on and off the track. But also, other cars were bumping into each other, too. George was reported. Max was reported. It was a clusterfuck.
A little bit.
And I think it's just the Ferrari curse, I should say, because Charles got hit with a 20-second time penalty, which dropped him from 6th to 8th to end the race. Max also got a penalty for his pit stop lane issue that happened earlier in the race, but there was such a gap in time that it didn't matter anyway, which I'm frustrated about. But that's besides the point, Sam. That's besides the point. So I do have the updated points, and Miami was a sprint weekend too, so let's not forget that. There was a lot of points, and there was a lot of movement. So let me share my screen. Classic corporate jargon here for a second. Bear with me.
Your, if I remember correctly, your points are doled out from 22, or it's what is it again? It's you get at least a point no matter what, and then once you get to the top 10, you start getting the differences that you would from the original.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah. So for a regular race, we're still doing the everyone gets a point as long as you finish the race, and that is very subject to interpretation this season with how many crashes or DNFs we're getting. And then, so once we hit to the top 10, the same point gap that exists now between 10 to 9, 9 to 8 in the current F1 point system is what I also tack onto my point system. So P1 technically can get 37 points. If they get fastest lap, it's 38 points max. For the sprint race, though, it is just a standard aggregate flip the points, though. So first place gets 22. Last place will get 1 point if they finish the race. So we're going to start with constructors first. The top three stayed the same. No surprise there. Mercedes P1 at 334. Ferrari P2 at 263. McLaren P3 at 212. The French are coming back to fight this season, Sam. P4 is now Alpine with 147 points. They moved up one position. Haas dropped down to 5th at 145. Red Bull moved up one position to P6 at 140. Racing Bulls dropped down one position to P7 at 111. And then 8 through 11 stayed the same. 8 is Williams at 102. 9 is Audi at 81. 10 is Cadillac at 60. And 11 is Aston Martin at 42. Going over to the drivers' standings now. Top 4 also stayed the same. So P1 is Kimi at 178. 2 is George at 156. 3 is Charles at 136. And 4 is Lewis at 127. Now, bear with me. There's a lot of colors and a lot of movement for the rest of this. P5 is now Lando at 117. He moved up one position. 6 is Oscar at 95. He moved up 5 positions. He had the biggest bump this weekend. He finally got to finish a race, and it paid dividends for him, for sure, in the standings. 7 is Max at 91. He moved up 2 positions. 8 is Pierre at 79. He lost 2 positions. 9 is Oliver at 77. He lost 1 position. 10 is Franco at 69. Moved up 3 positions. 11 is Esteban at 68 points. He dropped 1 position. The worst weekend for anyone was for Liam. He dropped to 12th at 66 points. He lost 5 positions. 13th is Carlos at 64. He lost 1 position. 14th is Gabriel, 57 points, up 2 positions. Isaac stayed the same at 15 with 49 points. Arvid dropped to 16th with 45 points. He dropped 2 places. We have a tie for 17th with Sergio and Alex at 38 points. 19 is Fernando at 26 points. He moved up 2. 20 is Nico at 24 points, dropped 2 positions. 21 is Valtteri at 22 points. He lost 1 position. And lastly, pulling up the rear is our boy Lance Stroll at 16 points. That is the point system currently.
Wow.
There is a lot of movement right now. I expect it to stay that way for the foreseeable future. I think with the way the current cars are running, we just don't know what to expect every race. There's going to be some good weekends for some cars in the back half of the grid, and there's also going to be some fuck-ups at the front half of the grid. So I'm excited to see how this continues going into the summer.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see. I want to keep an eye on the gaps between George and Kimi. I think it's still about the same. It's about a race win to loss point gap of, what was it, 25-ish points between your two-ish?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so they're currently 20 points away on the real-life point standing, so I'm mainly looking
22
at
points.
that. Yeah, okay, there
22
you go.
points.
It's only 2 points off from the real life standings. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, Ryan, a lot's happened between now and then from Miami to Canada.
All these breaks, we get some sneaky headlines through the
the
sauce, you know.
Yeah. Some rumor mills going around. But you want to talk rumors? Or you want to talk about more like tangential things that might actually happen?
Let's go to the rumors first. I like to speculate.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a 2-part rumor because there are rumors flying around. And I want to emphasize that, yes, we do report on rumors because F1 is a rumor mill, man. It always has been. It always will be. And some of this stuff is, sure, it's just talking points for the media to talk about. And other things are like, nah, there's some direction pointing that way. There's
a whole reason why it's called silly season, because it's a big spectacle. It really is. You're trying to capture headlines.
Heck yeah. And part of that silliness is that a certain Oscar Piastri might be making his way to Red Bull if there's a seat opening.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow. Who would he replace, Sam?
Well, I think it would replace Max Verstappen. Then here's the part 2 of that rumor. The part 2 of this is Max swaps with Piastri to go to McLaren. Now, Ryan, what do you think is the probability of this happening, or what's the probability, like, part of this happening?
I don't know, Sam, because I'm getting to a point where I'm getting tired. I'm already tired of like the Max drama of like, is he going to retire? Is he going to stay? Is he going to leave? Like,
it's gonna be the whole year,
I know
man.
it's going. I know it's going to
Buckle up.
continue. It's going to continue into next season. It really is, and I know that.
Yep.
But it's just, I don't know. Pick a lane, I say. I think it would be interesting. I think that is a smart move. Let's start with Oscar. I think it's a smart move for him to go there because he lost out the title fight to Lando. So he is forever now the number 2 driver at McLaren unless he decides to just say fuck everything and go for it himself. I would love for that, but I just don't think Oscar's going to do that. So I think he could make a name for himself at a new team, and I think Red Bull is a good position for that, especially if Max leaves.
Agreed.
Does Max leave, though? That's what I don't know. I think this also coincides with the rumors of his racing engineer going to McLaren, too. That definitely incentivizes Max to want to go over there. So I could see a path where this actually does happen. It's too early for me to really want to go any further than that. What about you, though?
I see two versions of it. I do think the Oscar one possibly going to Red Bull makes a lot of sense. His race manager is Mark Webber. He used to race for Red Bull. He's got the connections in there. I mean, they all talk anyway, whether they have the old school connections anyway.
Correction, Sam. Webber is no longer his manager.
Is he not?
Nope. That just was reported over the past few weeks too. I don't know off the top of my head. We can pause to look this up because I wanted to talk about this actually. It's someone else.
I wonder if you're talking about. There is this thing that's come out from my quick googling is that Weber is still his primary manager, but he's no longer his social media manager or part of like he's not on the track side nearly as much. Like he's no longer his racing coach or the guy who is whispering in his ear to tell him how to get better on the track. The kind of like basically a coach in the sense of how to better yourself out as a driver.
Okay. I mean, okay. This is conflicting from what I saw just a few weeks ago. There was someone else though that is like kind of taking that role. I thought.
Yeah, there's somebody else going to be on the role in the pits, which is Pedro Matos, and he has a new sports physiologist, Emma Murray, part of his his physical health. I honestly think it's probably this new Pedro Mateos, which is take this with a grain of salt. We're reporting on it right away. I think that's the guy that like helps Piastri stay in the right mindset over the weekend.
It's sports psychologist.
Sports psychologist, straight up, yeah. How do you shake off adversary? If you're doing a real hot, how do you stay hot, kind of a thing. Whereas Mark, I do know you are correct that Mark Webber has taken a step back from the public eye to work on the contract stuff behind the scenes. So he's moving in the shadows, Ryan. He's moving in the shadows.
So it's always been Mark running the strings,
shaking things up. And like I said, he has the connections in Red Bull. Always looking out for the best for him. I think it makes a lot of sense if Max were to leave because I don't think anybody in the Red Bull zeitgeist in their little atmosphere is ready to take on the senior position seat at the Red Bull. I think Piastri would be a very solid. He's still young, got a lot of hunger in him. Go in there and give some strength behind this team. I think it makes a lot of sense for Piastri to go over there, and I think it makes sense for Piastri just to be looking in general. Max going to McLaren, on the other hand. The only seed of truth that you've already touched on is that GP is going to be there as what? Team principal, as race engineer, who knows? But I don't see Max leaving the Red Bull family program. You know what I mean? He just did the Nürburgring race.
I think he's Red Bull through and through.
He is. He's done it this whole time. He likes it. I think they pay him a lot of money. I think he is their most successful. I think he's their most successful Red Bull athlete. I would think.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So I think they would pay him buku amounts of money to stay on that payroll. They're helping sponsor him.
Throw him in a different racing series.
Exactly, dude. They're sponsoring him in the Nürburgring that he just raced at. That didn't work out to his fullness, but he's getting sponsored. So I don't see how if he's in McLaren, he does have more options to race elsewhere in the McLaren racing series. But I think the Red Bull is a little bit too big to just walk away from. So that's my opinion.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
No, I would agree with you. I really would because you're right. He's getting right now, and I know it's F1 money. He's getting paid 50 plus million a year. Yeah, minimum. And then he has sponsorship deals, all these things. He loves the Red Bull ecosystem. So I think there's more of a path of him just leaving F1 in general and going into those different racing series to just do these fun side quests while he's also still in the prime of his racing career in general, then stick around with another team.
I agree. I 100% agree. Speaking of Max leaving and possibly, whoever knows what he does if he's not liking these regulations, there's been some talk, Ryan, about some new regulation changes coming into the future from UBS, from the president of the FIA. Are we going to get V8 engines within 6 years?
I have heard this too, Sam, and I'm all for it because the whole thing too, for people that don't know, the only reason the FIA and Formula One went into the hybrid era was because the engine manufacturers and suppliers, they wanted that push to market their hybrid electric vehicles anyway, because that's what this all revolves around.
It was big mid-2010 stuff, honestly. The hybrids, the Priuses were coming out. Those are the big talking points. That's where cars were going in technology.
Yep, and those regulations, that whole direction was pushed down onto this racing series. And for better or for worse, we have it. We're dealing with it. And, I like this regulation a lot more than the last one, that's for sure. But if I could hear a V8 again on the grid and get rid of the electrical components, I'd be down. Do sustainable fuel, That's all you have to do. Do a biodegradable fuel. You can, that's not harmful to the environment, all those things. We have the technology. They can do it. I'm all for that. I am. Yeah. So I hope so. What about you?
I think it's going to happen. I think MVS is saying it with his chest. The funny thing is that he's saying that they're going to do it before this regulation, this engine regulation set changes. And if it doesn't, then it will definitely happen for the next Concordia agreement that happens in 2031 or so. So it's there's a lot of talk out there. I recommend some of you guys going out to check out some others, reading up on it. There's a lot of talk about how much power MBS has. He's the FIA president. He doesn't get to make these changes unilaterally. He has a lot of sway, but he doesn't just get to move his hand and rules get to change. This is something that all the teams have to agree on or they back out.
Yep. And this is also an interesting dynamic too, because other rumor mills, I think we've lightly talked about this before, is the manufacturer in China, BYD. They are looking to get into Formula One. They have been in active conversations too about getting into the next cycle, and they are very big on all EV. So I wonder how that's going to play into things too. So a lot could happen over the next few years,
for sure,
in the next iteration of Formula One.
Yeah, I think keep your ears open, everybody, because I think we are going to get some louder engines here in the 2030s, and it's going to be interesting because we weren't fans back in the day when that was happening. So to be a new fan, or to be a new fan who's been watching it for 5+ years now, to get back to the glory days, you know what I mean? So yeah, keep your eyes and ears open.
Get the Goodyear tires on there too. Why not? Get rid of Pirelli.
One last thing I kind of wanted to talk about, Ryan, before we get into our bet slip, and it has some more engine news. Now, have you heard anything about this Honda bailout? I put in quotation marks.
No, I haven't heard about this at all. So please enlighten me.
Sure. So Honda is so bad right now. They are below the 10% threshold of speed or engine capabilities of all the other teams. There is clauses within the contract of if you don't make these mile markers, you get more wind tunnel time, you get more development time. So because Honda is actually pretty bad, they're below the 10% mark. They get I think it's like 270 extra wind hour times with their engines, or they're able to basically develop their car more than their competitors are now. They've been capped out.
Yes,
and they've unlocked. I'm not sure the exact amount of money, but they've unlocked millions of dollars that they can use on this year's cost cap. Because everybody's, they can only spend so much, but they have been unlocked it. They call it a bailout, but what's funny, Ryan, is that they're borrowing it from their future cost caps.
That's gonna bite them in the ass.
I think so.
Bite them in the ass.
It might help them. Well, here's the thing: it's I think it will bite them in the ass 2 years later from now. But I think they are in danger zone. They are redlining here at the bottom. It's embarrassing. They can't finish races, and it's they need to do something now, or they just look ridiculous to everybody and all these podcast bros talking shit on the Honda engine. Which one's worse? I think exactly. I think it's a bad fruit to eat, but it's
Well, and also too, trying to look at it on the other side is if that extra money that they're using now,
correct,
fixes that, it gives them a better foundation for the next few years too. 100%. So, it still might bite them in the ass down the line, but it might still be a better outcome than doing nothing. So I understand the rationale for it.
That's the major talking points. Ryan, you ready to gamble?
Of course. We're so good at it, Sam.
Well, dude, we're the best. Just to remind everybody at home, we have 0 points on our bet system slip. This is the moment where Ryan and I present to each other the 3 bets, our safe, medium, and high-risk bet towards each other, where we bet 1 shot of alcohol to try to get points on the board for our little competition throughout the year. We are still tweaking it. We're trying to see what happens. We are, it's a learning phase, Ryan. It really is.
It is. And, we might be coming back in Monaco with some updated scales for our points too. So to make it more reasonable for us to actually hit some fucking bets finally. So stay tuned for that, but we're going to keep it the same way we have it right now. Yep. And yeah, so Sam, who is proposing this timer? I can't remember. Sam, heads or tails?
Tails.
It is tails.
Okay, so I will present to you. All right. For your safe bet, okay?
Yes.
This is a 165 by an unnamed sportsbook. It is for this sprint race, and it is Charles Leclerc gets a top 4 in the sprint.
Ooh, okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Sam.
You ready for your medium bet? Coming in at 350 on this unnamed sportsbook. For the sprint qualifying, Leclerc gets a top 3. Top 3.
Sprint qualifying.
Sprint qualifying.
Okay.
Leclerc.
Okay. Is this going to be Leclerc
No,
across the board?
No, I got a new one for you. I got a new one for you. For your high risk bet, but Ryan. Plus 800 on the sportsbook. It's a top 6 finish for the race for Franco Colapinto.
Okay. Oof.
Talk it out.
Oof.
What's your heart saying? I think they're good. I think these are good.
No, these are good. These are good, Sam. These are very good. Well done.
Thank you.
I am going to take the safe bet of a sprint top 4 finish for Charles, but we're doing it, Sam. I'm doing a parlay.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to throw in a safety car. At least one safety car will happen.
Car? On what? The sprint?
No, the race. I want to hedge my bets a little bit. It's not going to work, but fuck it.
So remind me and our friends here that are listening to us, this parlay means
Yes.
that both have to hit for you to win, correct?
Yes, both have to hit for me to win, and if it does hit, it's a plus 33% or increase to the point total. So for the safe bet, instead of getting 150 points out of this, we would be getting, what is that? Got to do some quick math here because I'm trash.
I'm getting points too?
It would be instead of getting 150 points, I get 200 points.
Okay, heck yeah. Interesting. I like how we haven't gotten a single point on the board, and this is the race where you're like, I'm getting 2 bets correctly. Because if one hits, if Leclerc gets top 4 in the sprint, and there's no safety car. Okay.
But Sam, I feel like I got to do something. I want to shake it up a little bit, and fuck it, why not? I can't wait to be so upset when we record and one of them hits and the other doesn't.
Are you going to hit strong? I like it.
Also, the other part too about this is since it's a parlay, if I fuck this up, it's 2 shots.
2 shots, baby.
Yep. So that's going to be great.
It'll be a fun pod.
It will be. All right, Sam.
What you got for me?
I think you're going to hit on one of these. I really do. Okay. So for your safe bet, Sam.
Yes.
It is a race winner without Red Bull, McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, Aston Martin. So best of the rest. Okay.
Why did they throw Aston Martin there? Because I saw that same lineup, and I'm like, why did they put Aston Martin in that?
I don't understand, but it's Pierre at plus 185.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that.
Your medium risk bet is a top 10 finish in the race for Gabrielle at plus 400.
Top 10 for Gabby.
Yes, in the race. And your high risk, Sam, is the fastest lap of the race goes to my boy Charles at plus 900.
Yeah, we're not. I tell you right now, I'm not doing fastest lap. I think it's way too volatile.
Okay.
Who does Gabby race for?
Audi.
Oh. No, we're not doing the medium risk either. Then we are locking in Ryan Pierre Gasly, best of the rest, without the Red Bulls, McLarens, and the Mercedes, and the Ferrari, and the Aston Martins for some reason.
All right.
I feel like he needs to beat his teammates. He needs to beat the Haas's. I think he can do it. I think so
too. He got, unfortunately, flipped around in Miami. I think he's going to come out with some piss and vinegar.
I think so.
I think you have a good chance of actually getting some
I'm trying to
points
think
on
if I want to parlay it, but you know what? I'm going to go with the safe one. I want points on the board. I want to shake it up, Ryan, by just putting fucking points on the board. That's what I want to do.
Hey, maybe we both hit points.
You could be ahead. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
could be.
Well, Sam, that's our
bet slip.
Our bet slip. What are some of your predictions, or what do you expect to happen this weekend? Who do you think comes out on top in the sprint and in the actual race?
Sprint. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get I think we're gonna get a Kimi sprint win. Kimi was really. I think here. I got a couple predictions for him. I think Kimi's gonna fucking school George Russell here.
Okay.
I believe it was last year. I think it was Kimi's first podium last year.
Might have been
here in Canada. I think Kimi's going to do really well comparatively to George, and I think that's bad news bears for George Russell, man. That's horrible. But here's the second part of this. I think we're going to get a non-Mercedes winner on the race day Sunday. I think it's going to be our first non-Mercedes winner. I kind of want to make that my parlay. I really do. But I like.
Hey, books are still open, Sam. Books are still open. If you want to do it.
What's
life without a little risk, Sam?
I would like the points. I want the points. We're keeping Pierre. Keeping Pierre.
Damn it.
A non-Mercedes winner is less likely than a safety car, in my opinion. So I'm okay with my non-parlay pick. But that's my two predictions off my head, though. That's my two. What do you got? What do you think is going to happen? What are you looking forward to?
I don't know if this is actually going to happen, but I kind of hope, Sam, that George actually wins this race.
Okay,
I
wow.
don't think so. I really don't. But I feel like the boy needs it. He needs something at this
needs a
point.
little something.
Otherwise, he's fucked.
Hey, if he doesn't, this is a good chance that Kimi is a full race win points ahead of George.
I
Only needs
know.
5.
I
Only needs
know.
5.
I mean, I feel like it's so easy just to throw it on Kimmy right now because he's the hot hand. But like at some point, someone else has to win, right? Someone does. So I will err on the side with you, Sam, and say it won't be a Mercedes driver this weekend. I'll say it will be someone from McLaren. It'll definitely not be Ferrari. We know that. It will not be a Red Bull. We know that. It will not be anyone else.
I don't know.
You think Red Bull can do it? You think Max can do it this weekend?
I think no. I don't think. I think he has a better chance than what you're giving him. That's what I think. I think Max got P2.
I mean, Max has a chance, but I'm not that sold on him.
I don't know. I think we have a very similar track in the terms of like. I don't know. I think the Red Bulls are doing better. I think we didn't get to see a full Max Verstappen. I'm reverting back to what happened after Australia. Like we haven't seen what Max can do with this new Red Bull design. You know what I forgot, Ryan? You know what I completely forgot? Mercedes is coming in with new upgrades this weekend. They are coming in hot with their new upgrades to their car.
Oh fuck, you are so correct. Okay.
Everything we just said, toss it out the window.
Yeah, just forget the last 5 minutes. Yeah, it's gonna be Kimmy. I feel like it has to be Kimmy now. Well, maybe it'll be George. Maybe.
I do think the McLarens are pretty strong. I think they're unlocking their car. I think Max is liking his Red Bull more. I think the Ferraris are going to be more on the back step than anything, to be honest with you.
I already know that, Sam. I'm kind of giving up on that.
So I'm hoping it's below a top 4 for a Leclerc sprint, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I do think I'm still locking in what I got. Non-Mercedes winner.
Actually, Sam, the only thing I can guarantee is I expect to be there to be some chaos this weekend, as always with this new regulation cycle. So I'm excited for that.
Well, hey, we have racing. We got sprint qualifying happening in just a couple days. We got the race coming up, Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully no rain delays or rain previews. Whatever. What's the opposite of delay? Early start,
Yeah.
Finally watch it at 4 p.m. EST. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. We're back in it. And hey, this really kicks off the summer fun. After that, it's Monaco. And then we're hitting the European tracks. Wow. Yeah. We'll have at least.
I got to get through Monaco, then I'll be happy.
All right. Well, hey, Ben.
All right.
I'll see you there and can't wait.
I'll see you then. Can't wait to take 2 shots.